A very cheerful morning to dazzling delights of Standard 3rd. I, Miss Ashwini Niwal, welcome you all to our Moral Science class. Dear students, as we know that in the previous video, we had completed chapter number 10, God is One. And in today's video, we are going to start our new chapter, chapter number 11, Be Strong. So, rather than wasting the time, let's move towards today's topic.
Dear students, take out page number 44, chapter number 11, Be Strong. Okay? Now let's see what thought is given here. We can develop our willpower through small but consistent efforts. And the meaning of the thought is, if you want to develop your willpower means Ichha Shakti. So you need to do continuous efforts. Okay? Now, what is meant by willpower? Willpower is the ability to continue doing something tirelessly without complaining, even if it is tough or painful. Okay? So, with this, let's move towards our first line. You are taking part in a dance for Teacher's Day. You wake up in the morning with fever. What will you do? Now, dear students, one situation is given to you and how you are going to react. Two options are given. Take a medicine and perform. Call up your friend and inform him that you can't come. Now, dear students, one situation is given. You have already taken part in dance for Teacher's Day, and on the same day you had fever, and both the things are important. You have fever as well as you have to perform in dance also. So if your willpower is strong, willpower means Ichha Shakti. If your willpower is strong, then you should take a medicine and perform. And if you want to give complaint, that you should call your friend and inform him that you can't come. So this is not the good thing. I think you should take a medicine and perform. So tick option number A. Now with this, related to your willpower, there is one story given here. We are going to read it. Read this story to know how Jaya becomes strong by strengthening her willpower. Now there is one girl whose name is Jaya, and she is also of your age. Okay, she also studies in 3rd standard, and how she made herself strong, the things are given here. Now let's see. Look at the first line. The name of the story is given, The Trick. Jaya was the only girl child in her family. She was so spoiled by everyone that she could not do any work at all. She would cry for every little thing. If she got a little pebble in her shoe, she would cry. If she felt cold, tears would start rolling down her cheeks. Her mother would immediately make her wear layers of clothes. And if she ever fell and hurt herself, she would pull the house down with her loud cries. Okay, dear students? Dear students, now Jaya was the only child in her family, means she was the only child. Okay, no brother, no sister, only parents and herself. So she was very pampered kind of a child. Now, and she was so weak. Do you know how can we say that? She was so spoiled by everyone, because everyone was saying that she cannot do this, she cannot do that, she always cries, that's it. Okay, now she would cry for every little things. Now if she got a little pebble in her shoe, now pebble means a small stone. Okay, so sometimes we walk, so it may go inside our shoes. So that pebble also, if it goes into her shoes, so she started to cry. And this, for silly reasons, she was always crying. She was always asking help for her parents. As we can see, if she felt cold, so she should start crying. Yes, so what her mother did, her mother would immediately makes uh, her wear layers of clothes. Okay, so even if she fell somewhere or she hurt herself, so she should cry. And she was crying a lot कि वो पूरा घर ही सर पे ले लेते थे. Okay, now let's see the next paragraph. When Jaya grew up, her parents sent her to school. There too, she would cry for every small thing. The children made fun of her and nobody wanted to be her friend. This made her very sad. She realized how weak she was and wanted to change. For several days, she tried to bear pain and hardships, but she failed. And, any little pain made her cry like an open tap. Now, what happened? When she was very young, she would cry always, as we have already learned. And now Shreya grew up and her parents sent her to school. But there also, in her school also, she was crying all the day. So, other children, as we can see in the picture, other children made fun of her. Okay, these two boys are teasing her and she is crying instead of reacting upon them. Okay, and nobody wanted to be her friend also. Why this so? Because she was always crying and she was very weak, mentally as well as physically also. Then one day she herself realized that how weak she is, and on that day she has decided to change herself, to change her attitude, and now she doesn't want to become a crying girl. Okay, now she has decided to become a strong one. So she was trying, and for several days she tried much. She bared pain and hardships. Okay, and she failed many times. But let's see what happened next. Worried, she spoke to her father about this. He said, I will teach you a secret trick to turn you into a tough child. Okay, now dear students, what happened? Now she went back home and she discussed this problem with her father. She was so worried. Worried means she was so sad. And her father said, don't worry, Jaya, I will teach you a secret trick how to become a tough child. Tough means a strong child. And what is the trick? Asked Jaya. Then Jaya asked her father, what is the trick, father? Tell me. Eat a sweet less, study for 5 minutes more, and count to 5 before crying. This is the trick. Okay, dear students, so underline it properly. Eat a sweet less. Now sweet means meetha. Why we have to eat sweet less? Because if we are eating sweet more, it makes us lazy. Okay, study for 5 minutes more. It means, just consider that if you are studying for 1 hour every day, so you should increase 5 minutes every day. What will happen? It will increase your study habit and it will increase your stamina to sit at one place for study. Okay, third is count to 5 before crying. As we know that Jaya was a crying girl. She was always used to cry. Then count 5 before crying means it will help you to get patience and to adjust your mind. Jaya could not believe it. She asked, Is that all I have to do? She asked this question. All these things I have to do? Yes, that is all, said her father. Her father said, yes, all these things you have to do. It's very simple, but it won't be very easy. You need a strong willpower to do it. Jaya decided to follow her father's advice. Now what happened, dear students? She said, all these things I have to do. Father said, yes, you have to do all these things. But all these things are not so easy. You need a strong willpower. Means she herself has to make her mind strong to follow all these things. Now Jaya decided to follow her father's advice. Now what happened, dear students? The next day her mother offered her 2 sweets. 1 sweet less, thought Jaya. Now, dear students, what happened next day? Her mother offered her 2 sweets. But now Jaya has decided to be a strong girl. So, she thought 1 sweet less. Now what happened? It wasn't easy leaving 1 sweet in her mother's hand. But she did it. She took only 1 sweet. As we can see, 2 sweets her mother offered, but Jaya took only 1 sweet, because she remembered her father's advice. Next paragraph. That very afternoon, Jaya sat down to study. When she was about to get up, she remembered her father's words, study for 5 minutes more, although she could hear her favorite program on the TV. She decided to revise what she had done for 5 minutes. But now, then one afternoon Jaya sat for study. Okay, now she has studied for some time and now she was about to get up. Okay, then she remembered her father's word, study for 5 minutes more, study for 5 minutes more. Now, although she could hear her favorite program on TV, means what happened? She was studying also, and her favorite program was also going on the TV. But she remembered her father's words, and instead of watching program, she went back to the study and she revised whatever she studied in that 5 minutes. Okay, that is the good thing what she did. Means she thought to herself to be strong. Okay, means here we can see that her willpower is getting stronger and stronger. Let's see the next paragraph. Later, when Jaya bumped into the corner of her study table and fell down, she controlled herself and counted to 5. She was surprised to find that she did not cry at all even, though she had pain. Now what happened, dear students? As she was just bumped into the corner, means वो गिर गई है, as we can see in the picture. But now she controlled herself, means instead of crying, she counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in her mind, and she surprised. So now instead of crying, she controlled her emotions and she stood up. Okay, here also we can see that how Jaya turned herself into a strong girl. Last paragraph. Jaya followed her father's advice for a few more days. Eat 1 sweet less, study for 5 minutes more, and count to 5 before crying. Her willpower became stronger. The more she practiced, the easier it got. Before long, she realized that she could eat fewer sweets, study more minutes, and cry fewer times. Not only that, the children in her school stopped making fun of her and she made many friends. Now, dear students, she followed the trick given by her father. Okay, this trick you also have to follow in your day-to-day life. Now, she practiced more and this made her to make her life easier. Now she is not eating much sweets. Now she is able to sit for much time for study. Now she doesn't cry. Okay, and at school also, students, other children are not making fun of her, and now she had many friends. Okay, dear students, so in this chapter we studied that we should follow the trick given by Jaya's father to be a strong person. So now we are going to stop here.
So, dear students, in today's video, we have completed chapter number 11. Your homework is you have to write all these answers in your textbook. Till then, thank you so much. Bye-bye and have a great day.